Welcome back, beautiful souls. Today we're diving deep into January 2026. And I have to tell you, this is not just another January. This is the month that sets the stage for the most transformative year of our lifetime. In this video, I'm going to walk you through January almost day by day. I'm going to be looking at the major transits, aspects, and planetary movements with the exact dates, and I will provide degrees as well in some cases. And then we will be looking at your specific sun sign, so I will break it down what this means in your everyday life, your relationships, or your career, your money, or your spiritual journey. And here's the thing. January ends with one of the rarest planetary ingresses we'll ever experience. Neptune entering Aries for the first time in 165 years. So grab your calendar, take some notes, and let's map out your January 2026 together. Before I go into the day-by-day breakdown, let me give you the overview, because context is everything. January 2026 is what I call a preparation month and a transition month. We begin with all the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Sun in Capricorn, creating this grounded, practical, let's get things done energy. But by the end of the month, Mercury, Venus, and Mars have all shifted into Aquarius, completely transforming the vibe from traditional to revolutionary. And here's what makes this month extraordinary. First, we have Saturn at the very last degrees of Pisces all month long. Saturn moves from 26 degrees to 28 degrees Pisces through January. Saturn had been in Pisces since March 2023, teaching us lessons about spirituality, compassion, boundaries with the formless, and mastering our emotions. January represents the final exam. Whatever spiritual lessons you've been learning since 2023, January is when you demonstrate mastery. In real life, this looks like finally getting or setting healthy boundaries with that energy draining friend or family member. It's finishing that creative or spiritual project you've started years ago. It's realizing you can be compassionate without being a martyr. Second, we have the Neptune also sitting at the very end of Pisces, preparing for its historic shift into Aries on January 26th. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011. That's 14 years. For many of you watching this, Neptune has been in Pisces your entire adult life. Neptune in Pisces brought us the rise of social media, filtered reality, increased addiction and escapism, but also massive spiritual awakening, meditation going mainstream, the spiritual but not religious movement. All of that, Neptune in Pisces. On January 26th, Neptune enters Aries for the first time in 165 years. None of us have experienced this. This is once in multiple lifetimes astrology. And third, we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer all month. Jupiter moves backward from 21 degrees to 17 degrees Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer at its absolute strongest, but it's retrograde, which means the expansion is internal rather than external. This is the month for reviewing your emotional growth, reevaluating home and family matters, and going deeper into what truly makes you feel secure. Fourth, Uranus stations direct on January 30th at 27 degrees Taurus. Uranus has been retrograde since September 2025, asking us to internally review our values, finances, and material security. On January 30th, Uranus starts its preparation for the direct motion, and we can start implementing the changes we've been contemplating. And fifth, Pluto is moving direct through early Aquarius, continuing its 20-year transformation of collective consciousness, technology, and power structures. So that's the setup. Now let's go week by week and day by day. So we begin 2026 with heavy Capricorn energy. The Sun is in Capricorn until the 19th, and all three personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, are in Capricorn at the start of the month. The Sun is here until January 19th. Mercury and Mars, January 20th, January 23rd, and Venus up until January 18th. This is maximum Capricorn energy, ambition, discipline, structure, responsibility, building things that last. Mercury in Capricorn. January 2nd to January 20th. Mercury governs how we think, communicate, learn, and process information. In Capricorn, Mercury is practical, strategic, realistic, and focused on results. So from January 1st, 2nd to January 19th, 20th, your thinking will be goal-oriented and practical, focused on what actually works, strategic about time and resources, and less emotional and more logical. Then Venus is in Capricorn. On January 1st, Venus is already there. It's been there since December. It is now at 11 degrees and moves out of Capricorn by January 17th, January 18th. Venus governs love, relationships, beauty, values, money. In Capricorn, Venus is mature, practical, loyal, and focused on commitment. So your approach to love is more serious and less frivolous. It's focused on long-term potential, appreciating reliability in partners, attracted to mature and accomplished people. And then finally, Mars in Capricorn throughout January up until the 23rd. This is about disciplined action. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. It functions at its absolute best here. So Mars in Capricorn is like a seasoned general with a detailed battle plan. It's strategic, disciplined, enduring, ambitious, and unstoppable. So you will have incredible focus on long-term goals, stamina and endurance, strategic thinking, ability to delay gratification for bigger rewards. Now, for you, Taurus, the Capricorn Stellium happens up right here in your 9th house of higher education, philosophy, travel, and expansion. This house also governs philosophy, long-term travel, publishing, teaching, and legal matters. For Taurus rising, this is a time for you to be practicing or to be planning for education or certification programs. Or maybe this will see you traveling with detailed itineraries. For example, you start researching MBA programs, or start comparing costs, or start creating spreadsheets and schedule calls and with admissions officers. If you're a Taurus Sun, your identity seeks expansion through structured learning. You want to teach or share knowledge at this moment. So, what can happen? This stellium here can influence you or see you enrolling in online courses or create a study schedule and commit to completing one module per week with disciplined consistency, for example. And if you're a Taurus moon, your emotional security now it's expressed through learning and growth. Or you can make travel plans that feel safe and organized. For example, you can start feeling restless and start planning a trip after creating a very detailed budget, booking refundable accommodations, and researching every activity in advance. This is just one example of how this ninth house can manifest. But this is not just traveling, this is also higher education, it's publishing, teaching, legal matters, so anything within these areas. On January 2nd, there is a full moon in Cancer at 13 degrees. The moon governs our emotions, instincts, subconscious patterns, nurturing needs, sense of safety and security, and how we process feelings. It represents our inner world, our relationship with money, family, our need for comfort, and our emotional responses to life. Full moons specifically bring illumination, culmination, release, and emotional clarity. What was hidden becomes visible, and situations reach their peak. So the first major lunar event of 2026 is this one. This full moon is significant because it's the wolf moon. It's the traditional name for January's full moon. It's conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. It is a big orb though. But Jupiter at 20 degrees Cancer does amplify this energy. It opposes the Sun in Capricorn, so your work, home, public, private achievement, nurturing tension. Full moons bring things to light, create emotional peaks, and often bring situations to completion. So, in general, what you might experience for all of us would be strong emotions about family or home situations, realizations about what you need to feel emotionally secure, family gatherings or important conversations, home related news or decisions, and heightened intuition and emotional sensitivity. This full moon asks us all, what do you need to feel at home in your own life? So this full moon in Cancer on January 3rd is at 13 degrees Cancer. So the Sun is at 13 degrees Capricorn, opposing the Moon at 13 degrees Cancer. Jupiter at 20 degrees Cancer, also here, conjuncts the Moon within a 7-degree orb. So you will be most effective if you have planets or angles at 11 to 15 degrees Cancer, as the moon is conjunct those planets. So you can see emotional culmination, family home revelations. If you are 11 to 15 degrees Capricorn, the Sun is conjunct this full moon. So career, public life illuminated there. If you have any planets or angles at 11 to 15 degrees Aries, there is a square now from both the Sun and the Moon, so there will be some tension between independence and family versus career demands. And same for Libra, 11 to 15 degrees. the square from both sun and the moon can see some relationship needs versus homework balance challenge there. And if you are anything between 17, 18 degrees to 22 degrees Cancer, Jupiter is also conjunct this full moon for you within a 7-degree orb. So you can see blessings in your home, family, and emotional abundance in general. Now, if you also have planets at between 18 and 22 degrees Cancer specifically, Jupiter is directly conjunct them during this full moon, creating an extra blessing in home, family, and emotional realm. So this can see some beautiful manifestations through family gatherings, home improvement gifts or opportunities, emotional healing that feels miraculous, family member bringing good news, or feeling abundantly supported and loved. Your home situation can be improving significantly at this date. Pregnancy, if that's your path, it's also possible. Family, financial support, or inheritance in general. So if we now move on to the second and third week of January, so let's say from the 18th to the 21st of January, that's when the great shift begins. So let's start first with January 18th. There is a new moon in Capricorn. New moons mark fresh starts, new beginnings, intention setting, and planting seeds for the future. When the sun and the moon align in the sky, it creates a powerful portal for manifesting, initiating projects, and committing to new paths. New moons are about potential, possibilities, and consciously choosing what you want to grow in your life over the next lunar cycle. This is extraordinarily significant because 20 degrees Capricorn is an anaretic degree. It carries wisdom of entire sign. New moons represent new beginnings. It's the best time to set intentions. And final Capricorn new moon before the sun enters in Aquarius the next day. So set intentions around career goals, long-term legacy, structures and systems, responsibility, authority, achievement. This new moon says to all of us, build something that will last. Alright, so let's see how this new moon in Capricorn on the 18th of January can manifest for Taurus. The new moon is here, the sun and the moon are here. This new moon, again, it's being in Capricorn, is in your 9th house of higher learning. So this new moon invites you to expand your horizons through education, travel, or philosophical exploration. So whether you're a Taurus rising, ready to pursue advanced learning, or a Taurus sun seeking meaning beyond the material, or a Taurus moon needing emotional growth through new experiences, this is about committing to expand your worldview. You are being called to learn something that will fundamentally change how you see life. So if I would have to give you a specific example of that, this can see you researching graduate programs or professional certifications in your field, or comparing, I don't know, 5 options with detailed spreadsheets on cost, time commitment, and career. you can commit to applying to at least 2 programs by March, say, or you can book a meaningful trip for later in the year. One that involves cultural immersion, not just tourism, and begin learning the language using a structured daily practice. So, this type of level of involvement, precision, and precision that this new one can trigger in Taurus, rising sun or moon. On the same day, on January 18th, Venus enters Aquarius, leaves Capricorn and enters Aquarius. Venus governs love, relationships, attraction, beauty, pleasure, values, money, art, and what brings us joy. It shows how we give and receive affection, what we find beautiful, how we relate to others, and what we value most. Venus represents our capacity for connection, harmony, aesthetics, and the quality of sweetness in life. Basically, everything that makes life worth living. This is a dramatic shift in the energy of love, relationships, and values. So Venus was in Capricorn up to January 17th, when it showed us a serious, committed, practical, traditional, mature way of living. With Venus in Aquarius from January 18th, we become or start seeing a more free-spirited, unconventional, friendship-oriented, independent, and innovative way of life. Practically after January 18th, there is a desire for more freedom in general for all of us in partnerships, attraction to unique people, intellectual connection mattering more than chemistry. All right, so Venus moving from Capricorn into Aquarius for Taurus rising. This means Venus is moving into your 10th house of career, public life, reputation, and authority. So, Venus graces your career sector now with charm and opportunity. Whether you're a Taurus rising, becoming known for your unique approach, or a Taurus sun, finding identity through professional innovation, or a Taurus moon, feeling emotionally fulfilled by public recognition, your work life becomes more enjoyable and potentially lucrative. You're attracting career opportunities through authentic self-expression. To give you a specific example, this can see you pitching an innovative idea at work that showcases your creativity, or you update your professional brand to reflect your authentic personality. Maybe you can be redesigning your website with a more authentic or unique aesthetic, or sharing thought of tough leadership on LinkedIn. A mentor or authority figure can take interest in your unconventional approach now. If you're self employed, you can attract clients who value your individuality. You might receive recognition, an award, or positive visibility for being yourself professionally. And then one day after that, on January 19th, Sun will enter Aquarius. As you can see now, almost all planets have moved back from Capricorn into Aquarius. The Sun governs our core identity, the life force, vitality, ego, conscious will, and sense of purpose. It represents who we are in essence, our creative self-expression, and how we shine in the world. The Sun shows what gives us energy, what we are here to become, and the qualities we're developing throughout our lifetime. It's our central organizing principle. It's the I am at the heart of our being. Sun shifts from Capricorn into Aquarius, from traditional to revolutionary. Aquarius Sun energy speaks about innovation, progress, community, individuality, technology, freedom, intellectual stimulation. And for you, Taurus, the Sun moving from Capricorn into Aquarius on January 19th is basically the Sun is now joining Venus into your 10th house of career, public life, and reputation. So, if you're a Taurus rising, the Sun illuminates your career sector, making this a month where your professional life and public reputation take center stage. You're being recognized for your unique contributions and innovative approach. Taurus Sun find their core identity expressed through achievement, through career achievement, and feels called to lead in unconventional ways that challenge traditional methods. Taurus Moon seek emotional security through professional validation and feel more comfortable when your public role aligns with your values of progress and authenticity. So, to give you a specific example, this can see you pitching a radical new process to your boss that streamlines an outdated system, or you launch a side business that showcases your expertise in a modern, tech forward way. Maybe you update your LinkedIn profile, you start posting through leadership content, or finally create that professional website you've been putting off. Your reputation shifts now from reliable traditionalist to innovative leader. Colleagues start coming to you with fresh perspectives, and you might even be approached for speaking opportunities or leadership roles that highlight your forward thinking approach. And then on January 20th, we have the golden window for the Saturn Sextile Uranus. This has been active since December, I would say, with a very extended orb, say around 5 degrees orb, September 25th, and it will still going to continue to be felt until February 13th, give or take. But January 20th, it's very exact. The orb, it's very exact. Because Saturn is at 27 degrees. Is at 27 degrees Pisces, and Uranus is at 27 degrees Taurus. 27 degrees 32 minutes, 27 degrees 38 minutes. Very, very close. This is it. It's exact. Basically, what this represents for all of us is an opportunity for sustainable innovation, practical revolutionary and responsible changes, and structured creativity. So the key question here that we are being asked by this Saturn Sextile Uranus aspect is, what's one significant change I can make that's both revolutionary, Uranus, and responsible, Saturn? For you, Taurus, when Saturn sextiles Uranus, let's see what you can expect. So Saturn, will be on the 20th of January when the exact sextile occurs. Saturn is in Pisces in your 11th house, and Uranus is in Taurus in your first house. So 11th house is community, first house is self and identity. So if you're a Taurus rising, this sextile connects your community involvement with personal transformation. So you're making sustainable changes to your identity and appearance while building responsible connections with progressive groups. Taurus Sun finds their core identity strengthened through committed participation in community projects that require both innovation and follow through. Taurus Moon feels emotionally fulfilled when personal changes are supported by trusted friends who encourage your evolution. And the sky is supporting exactly that. So, to give you a specific example, this means during this time you can join a professional organization or an activist group and commit to a leadership role with clear responsibilities, showing up consistently rather than just attending sporadically. This involvement inspires you to make personal changes, updating your appearance, developing new skills, or presenting yourself more authentically with the support of your community. You might start a business with like minded friends, combining innovative ideas with practical execution. You're reinventing yourself through sustained engagement with people who share your values and hold you accountable to your vision. On January 20th, Mercury enters Aquarius. Mercury governs communication, thinking, learning, information processing. It also governs short trips, siblings, and the exchange of ideas. It represents how our mind works, how we speak and write, how we learn and teach, and how we connect the dots. Mercury is the messenger, the translator, the networker. It's about gathering information, making connections, and expressing what we know. Mercury shifts from Capricorn strategic thinking to Aquarius innovative thinking. So from January 20th until February 7th, Mercury in Aquarius is asking us to think outside the box, to be interested in science and technology, to be direct and authentic communicators, to be inventive problem solvers. So for you, Taurus, when Mercury enters your Aquarius on January 20th, it enters your 10th house. So if you're Taurus rising, Mercury energizes your professional thinking and public communication. You're generating innovative ideas for career advancement now, and you're expressing your expertise in unconventional ways. Mercury is there to give you that um, superpower. Taurus for Taurus Sun, you can find mental clarity about professional direction and you can communicate with authority on progressive topics in your field. Taurus Moon can see you processing career aspiration intellectually and feeling emotionally satisfied when your professional communication reflects authentic innovation. To give you a specific example, you can prepare presentations or proposals that showcase innovative approaches to your work, challenging industry norms with well researched alternatives, as an example. You could also be maybe updating your professional profiles with forward thinking language. You can be sharing your top leadership on LinkedIn or pitch yourself for speaking opportunities on topics where you have unique perspectives. Conversations with bosses, colleagues, or clients become more direct and idea focused. You're not afraid to suggest radical improvements or question updated methods. You are thinking strategically now about your career trajectory and communicating your vision clearly who to those who can support it. And now moving on to the final week of January. Final days. January 23rd is basically from January 23rd to January 26th is the Aquarius conversions and Neptune's historic shift. On January 23rd, it is Mars who enters Aquarius. Mars governs action, drive, energy, passion, anger, desire, assertion, and how we pursue what we want. It represents our warrior spirit, our physical vitality, our courage, competitiveness. Mars shows how we take initiative, how we defend ourselves, how we express anger, and how we channel our willpower. Is the planet of action, motivation, and forward momentum. Pure drive and desire made manifest. So Mars shifts from disciplined Capricorn to rebellious Aquarius. So Mars in Aquarius from January 23rd to March 4th. It's action motivated by ideals, fighting for causes, independent approach to goals, innovation in how you pursue your desires. For all of us, it is a completely transformed vibe from traditional to revolutionary. And now all personal planets are in Aquarius. The Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. For Taurus, when Mars enters Aquarius on January 23rd, it is joining the 10th house of career, public life, reputation, authority, and professional goals party with the Sun, who's already there, and we discussed Venus and Mercury. Mars, we know it drives ambition action in your career sector. So whether you're a Taurus rising, pursuing professional advancement aggressively, or a Taurus Sun, finding identity through innovative achievement, or a Taurus Moon, feeling emotionally compelled to make your mark, you're motivated now to revolutionize your professional life with Mars entering this house. Traditional career paths may feel restrictive. You want to do things your way. So to give you a specific example, this can see you, Mars giving you the courage, ambition, and aggressiveness to pitch a bold, innovative idea at work that challenges the status quo, backing it with data and a clear implementation plan. Or you can apply for positions that stretch you or require unconventional qualifications, trusting your unique skills. Or maybe if you're self-employed, you can launch a new meeting or marketing strategy that's unlike anything you've done before. You might leave a traditional job to pursue entrepreneurship or freelancing or a career in tech or innovation. This can also maybe see you fighting for recognition of your unique contributions. And now, on January 26th, the Neptune enters Aries. This is a historic game changer. This is a once in 165 years historic event. Now, Neptune. It governs spirituality, dreams, imagination, illusions, compassion, transcendence, surrender, mysticism, and the dissolution of boundaries. It represents our connection to the divine, our capacity for unconditional love, our artistic inspiration, and our desire to merge with something greater than ourselves. Neptune can be both the highest spiritual vision and the deepest delusion. It's where we seek meaning beyond the material world. Neptune enters Aries at 0 degrees for the first time since 1861 1875. This is a fundamental shift. Until now, Aries was in Pisces, and it was saying dissolve your ego. Well, Neptune in Aries will now say take spiritual action. Neptune in Pisces was saying surrender to the flow. Neptune in Aries is now saying be a warrior for your beliefs. Or Neptune in Pisces was saying we are all one. Neptune in Aries is now saying have courage to pursue your dreams. What January 26 means for all of us, we will all feel something shift, a sudden courage, a calling to fight for a cause, or impatience with passive practices. For Taurus, Neptune is in your 12th house of spirituality, subconscious, hidden realm, solitude, transcendence. So Neptune here in your 12th house, entering this 12th house on January 26th, prepares you for your next chapter through deep spiritual work. Whether you're a Taurus rising, integrating the past before emergence, a Taurus sun, discovering identity through surrender and action, or a Taurus moon, finding emotional security in spiritual practice. The next 13 years are about sacred solitude and inspired creativity. You're being called to work behind the scenes on your spiritual warrior training. So, to give you more of a specific example, you can now start feeling drawn to retreat experiences that combine spirituality with challenge, like silent meditation retreats, that include physical work, wilderness vision quests, or intensive healing programs. Your dreams become incredibly vivid and active. That's a possibility, a possible manifestation showing you or taking courageous action rather than passive scenes. You feel called to creative work that you're not ready to share yet, or you can be working in solitude with discipline and inspiration. This can also maybe see you beginning to understand that true spiritual strength requires releasing ego attachments while simultaneously claiming your divine right to exist. Throughout the entire month of January, Uranus has been a retrograde in Taurus. And at the end of the month, it's starting to prepare for its direct station in Taurus. Uranus governs revolution, innovation, sudden change, awakening, rebellion, independence, technology, and liberation. It represents breakthroughs, genius insights, unconventional thinking, and the drive to break free from limitation. Uranus disrupts the status quo, bringing unexpected events that shake us awake and force evolution. It's the planet of progress, individuality, and a radical authenticity. It change happens suddenly but leads to freedom. Uranus now is at its final degrees in its 7-year journey in Taurus. It's been retrograding since September last year. It's now getting ready to station direct. It will happen exactly at the beginning of February. But that we can start feeling its direct motion effects. And what that will bring is basically a forward movement that it's activating in finances, values, material resources, technology, and lifestyle, which is what Taurus represents. Changes you can now implement, all of us in general, while Uranus is getting ready to move direct, are new jobs, investment strategies, lifestyle changes, and technology upgrades. Now, for you, Taurus, Uranus is in your first house, retrograding the entire month. And at the end of the month, it's really starting to get ready for its direct station. So your first house is yourself, your identity, your physical body, your life direction, your personal approach. This is your Uranus that's starting its direct moving or getting prepared for its direct movement. Taurus, personal transformation activates forward. Whether you're a Taurus rising, embodying radical authenticity physically, a Taurus sun, expressing revolutionary identity, or a Taurus moon, feeling emotionally liberated by being yourself, you can now show the world who you've become. Internal shifts start now to become external reality. To give you a specific example, this you can see you making some physical changes you've been considering, like cutting or dyeing your hair dramatically, right? Or updating your entire wardrobe to reflect your authentic style, or committing to a fitness transformation with new training methods. Or you could be changing your name or move to a different city or publicly declare a career pivot you've been planning privately. Your energy shifts noticeably now. People comment that you seem different, more confident, more yourself. This can see you stopping to confirm to others' expectations and starting living as your most authentic, liberated self. Now let's have a look at Jupiter. Jupiter is also, let's have a look, Jupiter here. It's also been retrograding the entire month in Cancer. Jupiter governs expansion, growth, wisdom, optimism, faith, abundance, higher learning, and the search for meaning. It represents our capacity for hope, generosity, philosophical understanding, and the principle that life is fundamentally benevolent. Jupiter shows where we seek to grow, what we believe in, how we find meaning, and our relationship with luck and opportunity. When a retrograde, Jupiter turns growth inward, developing internal wealth, wisdom, and faith rather than external expansion. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, but it's being retrograding, so it's about internal expansion. What you're experiencing, what you can be experiencing, or all of us can be experiencing during this time, is internal emotional growth or reviewing home and family matters, building internal security. The blessings are happening inside ourselves this month. So, in general, Jupiter, the most activated degrees this month are
um, from 17 to 21 degrees, because Jupiter is retrograde from 21 to 17 degrees Cancer throughout January 2026, until it will station direct. It will continue its retrograde motion during next month as well. So um, let's dive a little bit deeper into understanding Jupiter retrograde. When Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance, and wisdom, it's retrograde, the growth turns inward. Instead of external opportunities and blessings, you are experiencing internal expansion, physical deepening, emotional wisdom, spiritual growth. Jupiter in Cancer retrograde specifically means reviewing your emotional needs, your family relationships, your sense of home, and what truly makes you feel secure. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. This means Jupiter functions at its absolute best in Cancer. Even retrograde, Jupiter in Cancer brings blessings, but they're internal, private, and emotional rather than external and visible. This entire month is perfect for emotional healing, family reconciliation, inner work on security issues, and understanding what home truly means to you. Don't expect external expansion just yet. That comes after Jupiter goes direct in March. January is about internal emotional abundance. All month, Jupiter retrograde in Cancer brings internal blessings like emotional intelligence. This can see you understanding feelings deeply, becoming emotionally wiser. It can bring family healing, internal shifts in family relating, even without external conversations. It can bring home appreciation, gratitude for where you live. It can bring nurturing capacity, so you can become better at caring for self and others. It can bring you security, wisdom, understanding what truly creates security for you. It can be about feeling connected to your ancestral lineage, or in general, it's inner wealth. It's about your emotional abundance regardless of the externals. So use January for internal work. External manifestations comes in March when Jupiter goes direct. For you Taurus, Jupiter in Cancer retrograde throughout the month is in your third house of communication, learning, local community, siblings, and mental growth. Jupiter retrograde in your mental sector brings internal expansion of understanding and perspective. Whether you're a Taurus rising, reviewing how you think and communicate, a Taurus sun, finding identity through deepening wisdom, or a Taurus moon, emotionally fulfilled by private learning, you are expanding your mind internally through reflection and study. Big announcements wait. Deep understanding develops now. So, specifically, for example, if you are consuming information voraciously but not ready to share what you're learning, um, that's one example of how this can manifest for you during this time. You could be reading books on philosophy, psychology, or subjects that fascinate you. Or you could be taking online courses privately. Or journaling. You could be journaling your evolving thoughts without posting publicly. Or maybe this could see you having conversations with siblings or neighbors that may trigger reflection on communication patterns. Or you could be realizing how much your beliefs have evolved and need time to integrate new perspectives before expressing them. The learning is profound, but it's internal. You are now building intellectual foundation for future teaching or sharing. Now, throughout the month, we're also having Saturn in Pisces at its final degrees. Saturn governs structure, discipline, responsibility, maturity, limitations, time, authority, and mastery through effort. It represents our relationship with reality, hard work, long term commitment, and the principle that growth requires patience and dedication. Saturn shows where we must mature, what we're building over time, and where we face our greatest tests. It's the wise teacher who demands excellence. It's the taskmaster who creates lasting achievement through disciplined effort. Saturn is now completing a 2.5 year journey through Pisces, and it will enter Aries next month. We are all now being asked to complete our spiritual projects, to master boundaries with compassion, and to release martyrdom patterns. Now, for you, Taurus, when Saturn in Pisces is in your 11th house of friendships, groups, community, future vision, long-term aspirations. Saturn's final lessons in your social sector involve completing your understanding of true community and authentic aspirations. Whether you're a Taurus rising, finalizing friendships that matter, a Taurus sun, clarifying future goals, or a Taurus moon, finding emotional security through meaningful connection, you are mastering the balance between individuality and belonging. Next month, Saturn moves to career. Now you get clear on who supports your dreams. So let's see. This could see you recognizing which friendships have depth and which are superficial. You are now making final decisions about group commitments and social circles. Or you might be stepping back from communities that don't align with your values or deepen commitment to causes that matter to you. Your long-term goals become crystal clear now. You know what you're building toward and who you're building with. This could see you mastering the art of a vulnerable connection without losing yourself, or could see you setting boundaries with compassion in social contexts. The community you maintain now will support your future evolution. And let's have a look at Pluto now. Pluto, again, all month long, it will be in Aquarius. Pluto governs transformation, death and rebirth, power, the unconscious, obsession, and the process of deep fundamental change. It represents what must die so something new can be born, where we experience power and powerlessness, and our capacity for profound psychological transformation. Pluto digs beneath the surface to expose truth, eliminates what's no longer viable, and catalyzes complete metamorphosis. It's the planet of evolution through crisis, of intensity through healing, and empowerment through facing our shadows. Transforming collective consciousness, technology, power structures throughout from 2026 to 2043. So the themes of Pluto in Aquarius in general is technology's role in society, power in networks, collective movements. And for you, Taurus, Pluto in Aquarius throughout the month is in your 10th house of career, public life, reputation, and professional power. Pluto's transit through your career sector brings complete professional transformation over the next 19 years. Whether you're a Taurus rising, rebuilding your public identity, a Taurus sun finding purpose through career metamorphosis, or a Taurus moon emotionally fulfilled by meaningful work, you are being called to revolutionary professional reinvention. Traditional career paths dissolve, innovative leadership emerges now. So, to give you some specific examples, your career will transform radically now. You might change industries entirely, or you could become known for disruptive innovation, or you could step into leadership roles that challenge existing power structures. You could see technology, collective moments, or progressive causes likely to feature in your work. Or, for sure, you won't be able to maintain the status quo. You are now starting to be pushed to use your professional platform for transformation that benefits many. Authority issues can surface now and will surface. You either claim your power or confront those who abuse theirs. Regardless, by the end of this transit, your professional legacy will be completely reimagined and aligned with collective evolution. And finally, the North and South Node. The North Node is in Pisces and the South Node is in Virgo. The lunar nodes are the points where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic, marking our soul's evolutionary path. The North Node shows where we're growing, the new skills, the attitudes, and experiences we are meant to develop in this lifetime. The South Node represents our comfort zone, natural talents and past patterns that we must release to evolve. The nodes reveal our karmic direction, what we are moving toward, the North, and what we're moving away from, the South Node. They show the fundamental tension between comfortable habits and necessary growth. So the North Node is about surrender, compassion, creativity, and faith. The South Node is about releasing perfectionism, overanalysis, and control. Collectively, we are asked to trust more, control less, feel more, analyze less, due to the nodes being in Pisces and Virgo. That would be a general understanding. Now, for you, Taurus, the North Node is in your 11th house in Pisces, and your South Node is in your 5th house of Virgo. So, the theme or your evolution is from controlled creativity to collective compassion. Your soul's evolution involves moving from perfectionist self-expression, Virgo, to compassionate community involvement. Whether you're a Taurus rising, learning to share gifts with groups, or a Taurus sun, finding identity through collective service, or a Taurus moon, emotionally fulfilled by meaningful friendships, you are being called to contribute to something larger than personal creative output. Connection over perfection. So I think this, to give you a couple of examples, this could see you, instead of perfecting your creative projects in isolation, you are learning to share work in progress with community and collaborate. Or you might join groups organized around humanitarian causes, spiritual communities, or collectives where your contribution serves many rather than showcasing individual talent. Your future goals shift now from personal recognition to collective impact. This could see you developing faith in the power of imperfect collaboration and learning that your gifts serve best when shared generously rather than hoarded until perfect. And that's January 2026 for you. Quick recap of your power dates. January 3rd, full moon emotions peak. January 18th, new moon, set your intentions. January 20th, Saturn Sextile Uranus, your golden window for sustainable change. January 26th, Neptune Enters Aries, once in 165 years. Feel that shift. January 30th, Uranus is preparing to move direct after months of retrograde. It finally move forward. If you want a full deep dive, 90 minutes plus, covering your entire 2026, link is in the description and pinned in the comment. Drop your rising sign below, hit like if this helped, subscribe for February's forecast, and remember, the stars don't control you, they inform you. What you do with this energy is up to you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.